preferred charges against Emerson Mnangagwa, noting that he understands that some would not take him serious, but he is serious about these charges. These charges were preferred against Emerson Mnangagwa, as well as also zviganandas. He is accused of many things. Corruption and nepotism. There are many charges, as I will be playing you the audio of those charges. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So let's listen to the charges announced.
This is Nyatim coming to you. We had promised that we would come back to you to chart the way forward. Today is the day. We apologize for failing to come back to you in good time. We delayed by a day simply because of technical glitches by the newsman, and also because of disturbances coming from zviganandas. Today I have a full pact of what we intend to do against zviganandas and their master. We are not joking. We are taking it very serious. Anyone who will take this as a joke, it's their fault. But we fought ahead lovingly and considerately. We had done a good thing to give notice to Mnangagwa to stop KB3 or step down. Those are the two options that we gave to Mnangagwa. For me to be understood properly by even Mnangagwa and his cronies and zviganandas, here is a full pact of his charges.
Oh, apologies. Let me just wait a little bit. Okay, we continue. Yes. We continue to
heed of our call. Now is the time to lawfully act. We charge Mnangagwa of several misdeeds. 1. Nepotism. The clause when is demised on nepotism, which means people from one region of the country are regarded as when the rest of the people are like aliens to Zimbabwe. Because of that, Mnangagwa has failed because he's now dividing the nation. Some are called Vene, some are aliens. I don't know where I fit, but he did not fight the war alone. He fought with others, the lives of myself and many others in Zimbabwe. Many comrades, Chimpinos, Mujibas, people who were of reasonable age when the war was being fought. It's not only motive and nepotism. We charge him of plunder of national resources. Long ago, we used to have a system in this country where we would have what we call a quarterly gazette. And there's some laws that were there to make sure that the people who are the masters of those who are in positions of power, because they have been chosen by the people through elections, those people would make reports that would actually circulate the whole country to tell the nation how much gold is in the reserve bank, how much lithium, how much of each mineral resource that is in the reserve bank including cash. How much do we have in the reserve? Now, it's the thing of the past. It's now a top secret to be known by a few, if not the only Mnangagwa's own family alone. Ladies and gentlemen, Mnangagwa is plotting to create a dynasty where he employs all his children, his wife, and everyone else to take them into government. By choosing Mnangagwa, we are now thinking that we made a big blunder in that he's now taking even people who are not relevant, with no requisite qualifications to occupy key positions in the economy. The likes of his son, the likes of his wife, and all his sons and other cronies that are occupying positions in key departments of government. We charge him of plundering national resources. That's national resources. Now that these mountains are being dug by Chinese, not only Chinese, according to what I think Mnangagwa has come to a point where he now agrees with those colonial masters of yesterday are impassable. A lot of potholes, some of the potholes are bigger than a grave. You can actually bury your relative in the pothole and bury them in there. Nobody will actually worry, nothing happens. That will be a good burial, you see? And because of that, we also have hospitals, no medication in hospitals. You see? You go to the hospital to be charged. If you don't have a small book where they can write records, they say sit on the bench until you get a book. You see, that is bad for the government of Zimbabwe to act like that. Then we see failure to run, failure to maintain even in the infrastructure, and failure to run the education system of the country, and failure to pay, decent salaries to magistrates and prosecutors, yet expecting them to perform well, even to police officers. He says they are corrupt, yet these people have nothing to eat. What can they do, honestly? You see? I cannot die while I'm looking at something that is edible. Even the courts of law will consider that to be necessity. If I take it without permission, it's necessity. It's not a crime. Now, also failure to clean water, to provide clean water to cities. People are now drinking water full of sewage. And other water cannot be taken by anyone normal because he will have a stomach now sick. He has failed to provide also
apologies. I'm taking it somewhere, so I have to actually cut at some point. Okay, let's try to listen to the
decent pensions to pensioners. We envisage that pensioner salaries must be based on a premium of $3,000 of a person who has been working earning that amount. Now, and again, he went on to replace rank marshals and all those people who were operating Mishika were replaced by Zambia youths, because only Zambia youths have got the mounts. Only Zambia youths and no other. Opposition people must die. If you want to survive, you must join Zambia. So it's compulsion. It's no longer persuasion. This man is. Those are some of the charges that we lay against Mnangagwa, brothers and sisters. So he has caused the unjustified punishment to soldiers. 65 soldiers have to date been arrested. No one knows who scattered those papers in the camps. It could be an enemy also who brought those things there and scattered them. So someone innocent must suffer, and they must be forced to admit to the judges. We charge the regime of bloodshed. Matebeleland there, the Kukula wind, we have not forgotten. Many people have lost life. Yeah, even in the way that he was also poisoned, you see. We cannot have power. Power that you take through killing others is not sweet at all. People who were protesting women were shot from the back by soldiers and nothing was done. And you cannot tell me that that is the leader that must actually be supported by normal people. No. I don't think God is happy about what Mnangagwa is doing right now. No. You know, people's houses are being demolished. Children are having to sleep outside in winter. You know, that is untold suffering caused by a person who must actually give people proper notice and actually create alternatives of where the people must go before people are moved. Now, there is an alternative to that. Alternative is Gulogulu and Majuku. You see, all judicial institutions were captured. Every institution in Zimbabwe has been captured. They do it according to the will of the leaders, which is not right to us. Because of that, this man must actually resign. Or if he doesn't want to resign, we must take legal action against this man. Which legal action has already started? You know, the applications that were put by Maduku, you know, it's delaying, the judgment is delaying because really Maduku shook the judiciary. This I can tell. I was there and I saw what happened. They are only delaying because Maduku has got the case. He won. This is what I know. I listened to the arguments. I could tell who is now taking the Warsaw, you know. So now I have the solution, fellow Zimbabweans. What solutions do I have? And I want to preclude this by some kind of introduction. Once we have a problem as a nation, we must agree to solve the problem amicably and lawfully. We have realized that people in Zimbabwe fear to be shot dead. That is a fact. We have tried a lot of times. Even the comrade case has tried a lot of times. What you have come to understand is that people fear to be shot dead by the ruthless regime.
Okay, so this is part of the announcement that I have that was made. I'll still try to look for all of it. I missed that announcement yesterday because I got it from somewhere where it was posted. And these are the war veterans that took Emerson Mnangagwa to the court. As you have heard him, what they have said is that they have decided to charge Emerson Mnangagwa for the atrocities he is doing to the people of Zimbabwe. They accuse him of nepotism, they accuse him of tribalism, they accuse him of divisions, they accuse him of providing Zimbabweans with unsafe water, they accuse him of illegal constitutional amendment bill number 3. They accuse him of corruption, and they are not only, they say these are charges that are not only preferred for him, but these are the charges that are equally preferred also for zviganandas. So a lot is going on behind the scenes. I know these stories are not given much attention from some platforms, but this is what is happening. These are the war veterans that took Emerson Mnangagwa to court. They are appreciating that. They understand that it is quite difficult at the moment for the people of Zimbabwe to take it to the streets because they are afraid of being shot. Blessed Geza tried that route but Zimbabweans understanding the ruthlessness of the regime, that is why they are not taking it to the street. Unfortunately, that video cut off there. I'm sure I will try to actually search for the full video, but the war veterans announcing that they are taking measures against Emerson Mnangagwa, saying they have given him an option they gave him an option to either resign or actually be chased out of power, to resign or to be forced out of power, and they have no option but to actually make sure that Emerson Mnangagwa and zviganandas are stopped when it comes to illegal constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026. So all veterans fuming, they have already charged Mnangagwa. I like it when Mnangagwa tests his own medicine. This is what he did to Blessed Geza. He charged Blessed Geza before, he charged him online. They are also equally doing so, and they have said they should be taken for granted by those who wishes to, but they are very, very serious about it, and also hinting that they prefer the leadership of retired General Chiwenga, as well as also Professor Lovemore Maduku. You see, I've said the necessity of opposition fighting in the trenches with the war veterans, as well as also the deep state in Zimbabwe. That is wisdom of them, because when this war and this battle is completely finalized, definitely they would be remembered. You cannot forget someone who has been into trenches with you. We know that Professor Lovemore Maduku, fighting in the courts, he has been brutalized by the regime of Emerson Mnangagwa. At one point, he couldn't stand. He was hospitalized, but he kept on fighting. He did not give up. That torture was meant to force him to give up on fighting against constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026. The war veteran Yatsimbe saying they are very certain that in fact, before I go that, also Mnangagwa, they said they will prefer to charge him with also Kukuraunde genocide, saying they have not forgotten what he did also in Matipeleland. And also they have, I think I have underscored the point of Professor Lovemore Maduku fighting with them in the trenches, saying they prefer him also to be part of the leadership post the Emerson Mnangagwa regime, and they underscored that they are serious. How? We will wait for them to see. And also the point they noted is that Professor Lovemore Maduku, he would definitely be awarded with a position, but there is something that also they said, I forgot it because I was looking at someone writing there. They said Professor Lovemore Maduku fought bravely during the Constitutional Court challenge, and the war veteran making a presentation saying that's the reason why the judiciary is delaying, because they know they were beaten at the Constitutional Court, and Professor Lovemore Maduku won. We will wait to see whether Mnangagwa will allow the judiciary system that he has captured to rule against him. It's something that we are pinning our hopes on. Remember also, the judicial system of Zimbabwe has been flooded with court cases. In my view, these should not be perceived as games. The other faction understand very, very well what they are on top of. And also, they have said numerous times, take us for granted at your own peril. Is Mnangagwa taking them for granted? I don't think so. I don't think he takes them for granted. He takes them seriously. That is why you see even Ziambi, the speed at which he would love to move, he is stopped. He is not moving at the speed. Even even this coming Tuesday, he was saying if it was about him, he would straight away take this bill to the committee, but saying there are still many members of parliament, in fact, who have forwarded their names to debate this bill. If that's the case, then that will determine on whether he proceed with the next process of the bill. They would love to fast track this. In fact, they intended to do so, but it has been very, very impossible because of the mounting pressure from the other side. So as we head to tomorrow, a lot, I'm sure, is happening behind the scenes between the two groups in ZANU-PF. Who will emerge? It remains a mystery at the moment. Will CAP 3 pass through? It remains a mystery at the moment. I've said my piece long time ago. It. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks and send us stars. Okanzubu Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give